Hello YouTube, hello Robloxians, and welcome to Lumberland. This is episode number 4 of Building with CBR 1K. As you can see, I finally got my sign up and working. It's flashing, it's beautiful, I love it. I got it working, I am so excited. So, with further ado, we are going to go ahead and jump right into the build. If you remember right, we were building the automated chop saw. We are on the 4th and final episode of this series. The last little piece is going to be a trash bin for the things that just don't make it through the metal or wood detectors that we were looking for. So to remind you guys of what we did, I'm going to drop this piece of wood. We're going to run through the whole thing. It goes up the beginning of the conveyor, up and into the first saw that cuts it down to at least 9 units in length. After it's done here, it should drop, go down into the conveyor through the sawmill. Once it gets through the sawmill, the plank cutter will turn around and take care of it. And our delays are almost done. There it is. It should drop. Of course not. Alright, it makes it through the drop. And now, there goes the plank. And we will watch it with the plank cutter itself. After it goes through the plank cutter, it drops down to the next conveyor system, and then that's where it gets fed into our wood sorter. Once I get the boxes and stuff built for the wood sorter, it'll make a lot more sense, but for now I only have one of them set up, and unfortunately I have not changed the size of the saw, nor have I actually adjusted the delays on this, so it does not cut it quite properly, but you should be able to see that it goes up here by this wood detector. It'll activate, it should push it over and make it fall down into the bin that we'll have later on. Unfortunately, size does matter in this, so it would fall in there and then fall into the bin accordingly. After the sustain is done, it would turn off. Any pieces that do not activate or do not go through that whenever it's supposed to activate are going to finish off this run. We've got 11 total different bins we can put on this one. So we can put 11 different types of wood into like a storage or just use it accordingly if we chose to. Speed up the process here and let's run through this. So the final little aspect is if it didn't get caught by any of our bins, or any of our wood types, it was too small, not the right piece, anything, it's going to come up here and it's going to fall into this. This is what I call the trash bin. This here trash bin will hold any wood, any pieces that did not work out, and then we are going to make it so they will actually empty into our truck. To be able to do it, I have 6 hatches that I was going to use. I put 8 up on this one, just so that way I can make sure it was going to work. I did measure it out ahead of time to look and see, or make sure, I guess, that it was going to actually fit the way I wanted it to. This idea here at the end came from somebody when I was in a game playing. We were talking about it. His name is Wolf Flywheel, and his idea, my little tweaks to it, and we ended up with this trash bin idea here at the very end of our build. And that does not look like it's in the right place. It is not. It's a little bit low. I wonder why it's going low. There we go. So for this one though, like I said, I ended up using 8 of them. I just wanted to see how well it was going to work out. I don't know if it'll work out too well or not. Wow, why is that not placing the way I want it to? I did find out though, placing in computer version compared to Xbox is much easier. Ooh, they lined up great. And let's see, come on now, get into your home. You know you like your home. Yeah, come on. There we go. That one looks like, yep, it dropped down a little bit. think that one is in the right spot, is it? Yeah. Alright, that one is not in the right spot, however. Wow, that just happened. Alright, that's going to be a rough piece to get. I built up the walls and everything, so I don't think we're going to be able to get it too easily. And of course, that piece is not in its right spot. There we go. Alright, so unfortunately, because of how high up these walls are, I do have to run all the way back over here. I wish there was a giddy up button to be able to get there sooner. And there's not. We'll run up the conveyor. Fortunately, this is the only time that I have to keep running up and around the conveyor is whenever I'm actually doing the build. After that, there should there should be no need for me to be up in here. Unless something goes horribly wrong, but I do have ladders that I can build and set up if I so desire to get in there. But really, I don't want anybody in there because they jump on it or something. It's going to make all the wood go scatter. And this is for selling at the end, if we so desire to. Why? Let's see if I can place it any better going this way. Nope. I get it into place and then it doesn't like its home. Yay! Okay, so the next thing you need for this little bit of the build is wires. You're going to need, depending on the number of these that you use, one to go between here and the following one, and you got to daisy chain it like that all the way through. So we've got one there, one there. I may have to run to the store and pick some more up. Oh, that was the wall. That was dumb. I didn't pay attention. I may have to run to the store and pick up a couple more because I don't think I have enough for the actual build. I didn't quite prep for everything. Just late, and I really wanted to get this video out, so I just jumped on it. So it takes at least 3 to go between these, and then you got one more that should reach all the way over to the switch that is on our wall. And then whenever you flip the switch, you can activate these, which will in turn drop whatever wood may or may not be in your system. And if you park your truck under it, it will definitely help you out because then you've automatic loaded. Plus you got a storage bin for everything that you don't want just scattered all over your base, as long as it doesn't go right behind a piece that actually does have a separator. Because the sustains will keep those straight switches on, and whenever they keep those straight switches on, it will cause a little bit of havoc in your system. So there's those. I'm going to run by and see if I have any loose wire that I could use. Oh, there's some right there. Alright, so we're going to have to make a couple of runs over here. Actually, we open this one. We pick. Nope, can't do it. There's that. Pick that one up, and now we can run over. Yeah, I just shot that all the way across my base. Awesome. Okay, so this is going to be the hardest part about this. Getting these wires to go properly through here the way you want them to is a little bit more trickier than it looks. To see, you get that thing going on occasionally. Come on. Oh, you're killing me. Come on. Hopefully that's good enough. Yes, that will allow it. Okay, so the main wire here is going to be or is going to end up being too long to actually reach, so we got to make it into a sister wire, I guess you could call it. It's going to be a systematic where there's more than one. So there is the primary one that goes from the switch. We want to always make sure that it works. It does. And then we got to run all the way over here one more time because I didn't think about grabbing that other one and shooting it across the base. Right there. Alright. We got this. We're going to run this back over to the base, or over to the trash bin. Then you want to try to hook this one into the edge or the side corner of this one. Bring it over and run it right to the edge here. And then you can hook it right onto that. Finish it. Good to go. Now we're going to grab the one that's out here on the side building that I shot across the base. And we are going to attach it, and hopefully we can do it right off of here, like I'm hoping. Right onto there. Finish it. Call it good. Activate it, and hopefully everything works out. Moment of truth. Perfecto. Okay. So, at this point, you can either bring your truck in, park it, and put it under there. You know what? We're going to leave that in there. Or you can respawn it accordingly. It's totally up to you on how you want to get your truck in there. I do suggest putting some kind of a guide or something inside so that way you are always in the same spot, because if this thing does not sit just right underneath of your truck, you will make an awful mess. There. So, as you can see, I used a little bit more than I wanted to. I can move my truck forward to be able to do this, but if you go too far back, it's going to open up into the cab. So that's the reason why I suggest you figuring out some kind of a way to keep your vehicle in the right alignment whenever you're doing this. There we go. The pieces won't actually fall into the cab, but they will definitely get messed up. So, without further ado, it looks like somebody else decided to send some wood through my conveyor, and it's not going to get caught. I need to see if I can hurry up and get over there. Okay, grab you, throw you over the edge. Go. Okay. So, let's go over here and send some of the wood that I chopped down. Hopefully that will not be the right length or the proper size. Through the conveyor, we will follow a handful of the pieces and see them all end up in the trash bin. And we're not going to modify this wood anyway. However it ends up, if it gets goobered through the sawmills, if it doesn't make it all the way through, if it doesn't even plank, if it gets chopped down to little pieces, we're going to see all of it. And we'll show you what I mean by the trash bin. It's all that stuff that you don't worry about, but you know you got to send somewhere, so you might as well make money off of it. So, aside from that, I was talking with a few people last night while I was prepping everything, getting everything built up, because a lot of people don't like watching people build things. But leave a comment. Let me know if you want to actually see the full build. If you want me to put something up that tells you what all I put into it, the way I set it up, whatever the case may be, let me know what you guys like in the system, what you guys don't like about the way I make videos, etc., and we will make adjustments accordingly. So this is what I was talking about right here. Luckily it showed a piece. So this is not going to activate my laser. It goes underneath of it, as you can see. There's also a cube of steel tree that's there that's meh, whatever. So none of this stuff activates this laser. One, because it's the wrong type of wood, and two, it's not tall enough. So occasionally you get pieces like that you just don't care about. You're like, meh, it doesn't really work out for me. So it needs to go somewhere rather than just letting it fall off on your base and be pointless or be something that you don't need. There's always a good place for it. That is called selling it at Woods R Us. So as we wait for this to come down here, because unfortunately I cannot make it go any faster. This idea, like I said, came from Wolf Flywheel. Him and I were sitting there talking about it. We were exchanging ideas on his base, and this was one of the ideas we came up with, was this wood separation idea. We were going to use lasers and make the height, and then the other one be a wood identifier, and then the final piece being the and switch, which went into our sustains to keep everything open. Didn't work out quite the way I was hoping, so this is what we ended up with. So as you can see, everything just kind of collects. None of it falls down, it's all there. The side walls are a 2 or a 1 by 4 or a 2 by 4 wedge that leads down to a 2 by 2 or a 2 by 4 wedge that's much larger. All of it ultimately sends everything into the center. The other side, unfortunately, I made a little bit bigger when I outlined it. So that one is a 3 by 4 wedge on the top, and then a 4 by 4, I believe, at the bottom. But as you see, everything just kind of piles up, whatever you don't want. So then whenever you're done doing your stuff for the day, you come over, flip the switch, and there it all goes. Just that easy. Everything loads into your truck. Now, you do got to be careful if you have a whole bunch of wood that gets stacked up. These trap doors will pick it back up and put it back up in there. It's not necessarily a bad thing because you won't overload your truck, but just be aware that you may have to make more than one trip if something like that does happen. So then we flip our switch back down. It closes for us. Our truck is loaded for a quick sale down at the Woods R Us store. And I bring my axe out because every time I end up moving the wood around or flings it around or something. So I found out if you have your axe in your hand when you're driving, even though it's very unsafe, you don't have to worry about it, all the wood and stuff flying around. So it's a kind of a give and take thing. And then for those of you that didn't know, I'm sure most of you do know, this conveyor will allow you to unload without actually having to do it by hand. So if I can park, apparently we're doing the Austin Powers parking job here. 57-point turnaround with the smallest vehicle in the biggest place. Okay. Did it open the tailgate? No, it did not. Open the tailgate. There we go. There it goes. Just that easy. Bink. 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 So simple, yet so awesome. The whole idea is I can spend hours. How did that get inside of my cab? The whole idea behind it is me and my friends can spend hours getting wood, running around, doing whatever we want, whatever the case may be. And by the time everything is said and done, we can unload the truck, sell what we don't want, and be done and over with it in a pretty easy pace. If I decide to get one type of wood and another friend tries to get another type of wood, that's where the wood separator comes in. It will automatically separate everything out for us by whatever wood detector fill and wood detector system we have put in place. Like I said, this one I can do up to 11 different types of wood in one shot. So I think that is pretty amazing because I don't have to really worry about it. Like I said in the wood separator build, which I believe was episode 3 of this, Ciniac, he had a pretty good system. The only downfall that I didn't like about it was having the switches that you had to put down. So he's got little markers saying which one is for what type of wood. But for him to be able to put it through the system, he actually has to say, yeah, I want this one to go to that wood and this one to open up this one for the wood to actually separate. This setup, it will automatically do it, but just like anything else, there are flaws. If you send a piece of wood up that's too big, like these ones here, it's going to automatically grab it and get stuck. Or if they're not chopped down small enough to actually fit, which is where our plank cutter came in, they're going to get stuck and then cause issues as well. The other problem is going to be if you piggyback pieces, put stuff through too fast, etc. But as you can see, there's 3 there, and as I pass them, I'll count them out. There's the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, 8th, 9, 10, and this is number 11. So I can separate 11 types of wood without having to flip any switches, do any real manual labor, other than chopping the tree and putting it through the sawmill. I do intend on adjusting this chop system so that way it is going to be something that will fit through it the way it's supposed to. That is the idea. Other than that, I'm going to put up some guide rails and other measurement pieces so that way I don't get things stuck. I don't like it when things get messed up in my system. So I will put up little quirks or little ideas about that later on. But this is our final build for the automated chop saw. So after everything is said and done, the total cost on this thing, I sat here and figured it out from front to back, not including my boat rides, not including any blueprints for the trash bin or anything like that. The total cost of this whole build is $240,055. So $240,055 to have your wood automatically go all the way up here, drop down, go through your sawmill, and that is with the Sawmax too. Come up here, hit the plank cutter, drop back down, feed up through every single one of these. That includes all, well, I did it with 10, so we're a little bit short for the 11th. Wood separator, it includes everything all the way down here except for the blueprints. It includes 6 hatches, so you can add another 1,000 if you want to do 8 hatches total. But everything else, I've got the wire included in my price. I've got all the conveyors, all the wood separators, everything. So $240,055 to be able to build this, not including the blueprints, not including your truck. So I hope this comes out to be a project that other people enjoy. I've already had a couple of people ask me about it. It is something I enjoyed building. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or you want to find out more about it, because I've had a few people ask me about it, I will be more than happy to share the details. Currently, the biggest issue that people are having is the proper placement of the saws. So I've seen people put saws side by side. I've seen them put a few different ways. The key of it, though, is the depth. So if you notice, the saw does not actually go below the conveyor belt. Other people have had it go farther down. It will push the wood through or cause it to glitch and sling out the side. Same thing with this one over here. It will not actually go below the conveyor belt. Ooh, that one does. So you don't want to go much farther down below the conveyor belt. It looks like that one's actually a little bit short, but it'll push the wood and make it fly. That is the bad thing. It does make things much, much more difficult to do. So without anything else to do on that, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to post them down below. If you want to give me a new idea on something to build, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to try to figure it out. I mean, I took the time and I figured out my sign. So that will be my next video that we do now that the automated chop saw and trash bin are done. I will explain how I made this sign light up the way that it does. I've seen other people's signs. The Code Primate chopping axe sign was built a little bit different. I took a few different people's ideas on how to do this and made it into this. One of my buddies, his name is Boss, he helped me kind of get the idea on this. I had to finalize and tweak it out a little bit to make it work the way I wanted it to. But there is a lot behind this. So please subscribe, comment, share, and like if you enjoy my videos. If you don't, let me know why. Let me understand what is going on, and I will try to adjust my videos accordingly. The automated chop saw that we have made, I know many other people have done them. Many other people have built this. I did not steal their ideas. I may have the same similar process, but this was from my own brain, other than with people that I've played with that kind of helped me get ideas with it. So that is going to be the end of our automated chop saw build. Again, please subscribe, comment, share, and like. I hope you guys... And of course, somehow I ended up messing up the video and hitting the wrong button. It automatically shut off on me. So if you guys have any ideas, please let me know. Subscribe, share, comment, like. Have a good night, YouTube. Have a good night, Robloxians. This was episode number 4 of Building with CBR1K and Lumber Tycoon 2, and the final build for our automated chop saw. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for watching.